Judge or not to judge, that is the question. Okay, now, good evening. It will be serious. I'll share with you with good kept secrets. All sisters in a convent are sinners. Although it has to be said I'm the worst. Not because I sin more than them, but because I can judge movements in my heart and I cannot see other people's fights. In all this I do know about myself, I still do not know much about intentions, not my own, not other people's intentions either. Complicado? Tell me. So now I should probably say this famous, who am I to judge? Exactly. You're not in tune, my dear, today. Was it good or was it bad? Who are you to judge? Honestly, to play good an instrument, you have to be able to listen to yourself and others in a critical way. This is not on purpose of making life harder, but making life better. Again, yes, you should judge, but in a constructive way. It is very common that those who are in the very beginning of their way as Christians see other people's so-called sins or mistakes. But be careful. Temptation of bad judgment is an engine to this type of thinking. They've noticed, switch the channel, judge yourself. But judge yourself in a positive way. Don't punish yourself, but try to make it better. It will be next time. So be a good parent to your soul. What about judging the others? It is not possible to do not judge situations at your heart. It is normal and positive. Most musicians play with other musicians. They have to make an agreement what is good and what is wrong. They have to learn to play, and even virtuosos must learn. Musicians have to look critically at this they do, and so people of all professions must. But even best musicians can tell you it is truth, we did great, it was a great gig, but it is possible to play this better. So because you cannot follow Christ at the moment, in a more radical way, doesn't mean that you should start to innovate his teaching. This is a bus which must stop in a bus station, not bus station stopping by the bus. And I agree it is so unfair that not all pole jumpers will achieve over 6 meters. But for this reason, they don't change requirements and expectations. Changing harmonical scales because I cannot play them well. Yes, Jesus is probably the most demanding teacher, but as a Christian, you never do things on your own, by yourself. You receive a grace, and that's why it is possible to do things which were not possible to do without God. And so, very important now to remember, your judgment must never touch a person. For now we see in a mirror, indirectly, but then we will see face to face. Now I know in part, but then I will know fully, just as I have been fully known. Listen carefully to this text. It says, we don't know all, but now I know in part. This means that we are not completely blind. We can see deeds, our own and others, and we can judge them, but in context of love, with love, and through love. Why many Christians live in fear and cannot relax in God, give everything to God. Many of them are afraid of Him because of a wrong picture they produce themselves. And so many punish themselves, and so the others. Behave a policeman who must keep order on earth. This is a sign that they don't trust God yet, don't believe that He keeps all in His hands. They don't believe that all hangs together and makes sense. But makes sense only from theological point of view. I believe in seen and unseen. This is perspective. We'll come back to this later. Very important is to examine your intentions as far as you can. Why you are a Christian? Why do you play guitar? Do I play the guitar to be rich and number one? If I do, boy, am I in trouble. I hope that I play because I love the soothing feeling of keeping this instrument in my hands and listening to all these melodies I can find. Even it can be so frustrating that I learn so slowly. I'm delighted to see how many young people play instruments and sing, try themselves in visual arts. As maybe the day we will hear the truth only through arts is very close. That's why I believe words Nick Begg's wonderful musician said once are very much to the point. Listen, I feel strongly that this is important to use music as a vehicle for truth, not just feel-good entertainment. So even you won't jump as high in music as Robert Fripp, take example from the best. This is not the secret that Mr. Fripp is 70 and could lead back, as he is leader of probably the best band on the world so far. Mr. Fripp loves to play the guitar. He says he plays every day. Do we love to be Christians? Do we practice all advices Jesus gave us? We are obliged to judge our deeds, and leaving judging of a person, ourselves, and others to Almighty God. And so I kept the big secret for the end today. Listen to Jesus Himself. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to them. Blessed are you when people insult you and persecute you and say all kinds of evil things about you falsely on account of me. Rejoice and be glad, because your reward is great in heaven. For they persecuted the prophets before you in the same way. Matthew chapter 5, 3:12. Stay tuned with God.